Hi, I'm Ryan Siebold. I started here at Church Militant in 2015. It's been almost 9 years now, and I've always been grateful that my job is to promote the Catholic faith. I'm also a father, so over the years, I've had to learn how to explain the deep, mysterious truths of the Catholic faith in very simple, practical terms. And that is what I'm going to share with you starting today. A brand new video series called The Afterlife Coach. On this show, I take the saints' advice about how to be happy and successful in this life and the next, because they're the experts, and condense it down into casually animated lessons that you can use right now to make progress in your life. So check it out. This isn't just a promo. This is episode 1, and it's starting right now.
Real life starts after you die. The purpose that God made us for is realized in eternity. That means all the stuff that we do here is a means to an end. That's everything. Your career, your family, your friends, your hobbies. It's all there so that you can use it to align your will towards God and generate virtue. Jesus used a lot of farming metaphors in his parables. That's because he made the world and he put lessons into it for us. I have a garden in my backyard. We planted everything in pure compost so that they would have the best chance that we can give them to produce tomatoes or garlic or whatever. Some of those plants produce and some don't, and some just die. They all receive sunlight, they all get rain, they all have good soil. But the plant itself has to take those resources and turn them into tomatoes. Our soil is the stuff around us that we can reach, that we can do. And our fruit is virtue. So, just like the tomato plants in my backyard, our job is to produce. And here's how you do it. Pick an action, pick a thing, anything, it doesn't matter. Can that thing be directed towards God? Unless it's intrinsically evil, yes, it can. You've got to make your own judgment about how to do that, because it's your life, not mine, but don't worry, I'll give you some examples at the end of the video. You've got church, family, work, hobbies, praying, reading, driving, doom scrolling. Okay, so you've picked a thing. Now go do that thing, and find a way to direct it towards the will of God, and then do it as well as you possibly can. This process will generate virtue. The more virtue you have, the easier it is to direct things in your life towards God, and the easier it is to commit more energy into it. I've labeled this bar power and this bar efficiency because power times efficiency equals the change in virtue. Let's say you're at the gym. Can that be directed towards God? By itself, the act of overcoming physical limitations increases the amount of fortitude that you have, which is a virtue. So if you go for that alone, then you've accomplished some good. It can also serve a dual purpose, or a triple, or however many you can find. Maybe you're single and your goal is to eventually get married and raise a family. So you go to the gym and you work out so other dudes can compliment your calves. So that girls will talk to you. Of course it won't work, but if you think it will and that's your reason, then your intent is in the right place. And that's great, because even if you didn't make progress towards your goal, you did make progress where it matters. What about the most God-oriented thing you can possibly do? Going to Mass. Even this can be turned towards God or towards the self. If you turn it towards the self, you gain no benefit in virtue from it. If you turn it towards God, you gain maximum benefit. If you're going to Mass because you love God and you want to be with Him and you want to do what He wants you to do, you want to worship Him in the way that He's chosen to be worshipped, then you will gain a lot of virtue from it. On the other hand, if you go to Mass so that you can put on the appearance of being a good person so that your church friends will like you and invite you to parties, then you've taken something that is intended to be directed towards God completely, and you've directed it completely towards yourself. The amount of virtue you'll gain from this is almost zero. So that's how we can make a good thing useless. Let's try something from the low end of the scale and see if we can make it more effective. So I've been learning how to skateboard. By itself, not the best use of my time. It does generate some fortitude because it's scary and you fall down a lot, but the reason I'm doing it is because I have kids. Skateboarding's a great workshop for prudence and fortitude, and kids need activities that teach them to work hard at perfecting a skill and to overcome internal and external obstacles that offers immediate emotional gratification when they succeed. So that when they're older and they have to do something that does not provide immediate emotional gratification, they're prepared for it because they know the process. It's also a great way for me to spend time with them instead of sending them to a coach to teach them how to play soccer or baseball while I sit on the bleachers. This way I'm directly involved and they get more time with their dad. And I'm using that time to teach them the value of delayed gratification. I've taken this morally neutral pastime activity and incorporated it into my vocation as a father, which is directed towards God. This brings me to my last point, which is that your surroundings dictate the choices available to you, and you can make choices about what your surroundings are. You can only act on things that are within your reach, so it's much easier to keep this process going if you position yourself close to activities and relationships that naturally line up with God's will. It's not easy to aim your will towards God, even if you're surrounded by good people and great things to do. So don't make it harder than it has to be. You don't get bonus points for doing a 360 no-scope. Just hit your shots. We're all on a one-way train to eternity, and the stakes are higher than we can imagine. So surround yourself with people and things that will help you ensure a good outcome when you get there.
Thanks for watching. There's more to come very soon, so keep an eye out. And if you feel like you've received some value from this video, please let me know. I'll be in the comments because I want to learn from you too. See you around.